Alright, let's get to it. For Mythic Huntsman Altimore, you're going to want 2 tanks, 5 healers, okay? It's a bit intensive on the healing side. And then a mix of ranged and melee DPS. You want to favor range slightly, and 1 or 2 Death Knights are huge. 2 is massive, 1 is enough. So we'll talk about that. On pull, the Margor phase, kind of a tank and spank, not really a lot going on. These vicious lunges, we just had them grouped, so you can bop and run them out if you want to, but honestly, there's really not too much for the healers to do here. The first Sin Seeker, you just soak it. Make sure that people don't take multiple stacks, but make sure that they take a couple. If they do take multiple stacks, you're just going to have to heal them for a bit while Sin Seeker, the dot ticks on them. I am a Dwarf Kyrian, so I'm tanking Margor the whole time, and I'm clearing at 2 stacks of his tank debuff. So if you have that available, or just have file available, it helps a little bit. Because what I'll do is I'll clear the first 2 that he puts on me, and then he'll get 2 more off during the phase, and then I clear those with file, and then I'm clear debuffs. I can just taunt Huntsman while Pam picks up Barghast when he comes here. Again, just a couple vicious lunges during the phase. Only 1 Sin Seeker. The Sin Seeker timer will reset, so you see it coming up here. It'll reset when we phase this here. Otherwise, we almost got one there. So now, Barghast is really when the difficulty in this fight ramps up. So you'll see the tank Pam here brings him in for just a little bit, and you see the Rip Soul counting down. So he's going to start moving out right now. And this is a good spot to pause it. So what you see here, all right, Pam is way back here with Barghast. Now, on the odd numbered Rip Souls, so number 1 and number 3. What's going to happen is there's going to spawn the shades on the odd ones. On the even ones, there's no shades, so you just take them out, let Ripsoul come hit, and then just bring them back. So here, shades are going to spawn on the sides. Now, this kill is from back when you used to have to throw multiple CCs to stack the stacks faster. Nowadays, you don't apparently need to do that, so you don't need to do the CCs. Just confirm that. I'm not 100%, but I've heard that like yesterday on a couple discords. So it should just be single CCs, and then you bring them in. We bring the first one in around like 40 to 50% energy because we only have 1 grip, so that allows him to grip it, and then grip comes off cooldown, and he grips another one in. So while I talk here, you'll see the shade spawn, and we will have people back there CCing it. So that was a Rip Soul. That's just a standard tank Rip Soul, well mitigated, so high health. You see it on the frames. Shades come up, and get CC'd, and then the ad comes out here. So first Sin Seeker with immunes is coming up. Now I'm gonna pause this and just talk about this a little bit and about how important immunes are. I don't actually think you need. We're running 6 immunities just naturally. Like, we have the comp for it, so it wasn't a big deal for us. But if you don't have that, I don't think it's that bad. If you just have people soak it, this boss is a lot easier than it was when you had lower gear. Gear covers a lot of the difficulty of this boss because it's just healing throughput and people having enough health to survive that initial explosion. So with 1 immunity here, what happened on this is I think that Drac actually got, oh no, Akka actually got one of the marks, and she is a hunter and is supposed to soak one of these. So this will happen on occasion. It actually happens to both mages on our 3rd immune here, and the biggest thing is you just try to live it. You can sacrifice the 3rd person on that stack, and then they just kind of get into the spots that they were supposed to. The biggest thing, I'd say the rule of thumb there, is if you are an immunity soak that's assigned to a round and you get Sin Seeker on you, just burn your immunity anyway. Don't save it to like flip flop or anything. Just burn your immunity so that you survive the dam, and you should be good to go. The other thing that's very important, this is why I paused this, for your immunities, this is going to be in blue. So you see Drac here with blue. You see this distance between the boss and the immunities? That's very important, is because these guys, now that Barghast is up, and forever on from this point on, anybody that gets hit with a Sin Seeker does spawn a ripped soul. So that is the advantages of immunities, is because you get very healthy, lesser ripped souls from anybody that's reducing the damage of the Sin Seeker. So if these immunities are right here, so if they're right here on the boss, what's going to happen is that the boss roots while he's casting Sin Seeker. He doesn't move. So even though that I run out over here, he won't move until he finishes the ability. And sometimes he'll do a spread shot right after. So if the Rip Souls spawn right here, they're just going to empower him. And we'll see later on, you can watch on the boss debuff bar on the very bottom here. So these are debuffs, but his buff bar, on the bottom, you'll see that he gains some stacks, and he'll have 2 stacks, which gets a little bit spicy for tank damage, and all other damage as the boss does, including spread shot, so that can get dangerous. The immunities have to stay fairly far away so that the tank has time to move that Rip Soul away. So, sorry, click stop working there for a second. Oh, so this will be a Rip Soul number 2 here, and you see Pam just mitigates and takes it out. It's a little bit spicy. It's at about half health, and then we have to watch these shades coming in here. So I'll move it. No, we're good. So everything got cleared out. Again, this was the first shade that got gripped in, and we just kind of DPS. Now this is the 3rd Rip Soul, so he's taking it away, and new shades will spawn. I don't know if I have a good camera on it. Yeah, so they'll spawn here shortly. So you see them spawning in that top left corner, and then we just bring everything into cleave. Big, huge, unreal importance here is just not breaking CC. That's, if you don't break CC, you'll kill this boss. It's that simple. So this one is Paladin Immunes. You'll see one of them is a little bit close here, but I managed to move the boss away in time. Oh no, this is okay. So this is when he gets the 2 stack. So you see the debuffs that I mentioned. It was because one of our paladins was too close to the boss. Now when he immuned that Sin Seeker. So I had to kite a little bit from the other Rip Souls that were coming from the back, and now I'm going to start getting slapped a little bit. So you do need personals, obviously, and then I start calling for, I think I get it. Paints up here, and then we kind of move through. But what you saw there, we killed Barghast, so you only get those 2 sets of immunities, and then you just kind of have to deal with these debuffs. And you kill off the rest of the shades. It's the most useful, I think, to hero here on the 2nd set of shades. And then the Hecutus tank just has to clear the stacks on Hecutus, because about 4 to 5 stacks it really starts to hurt you. Pam's a monk, so very well suited to mitigate that damage. So right here, we had both mages who were assigned to be the immunes on those Sin Seekers. They both got marked with it, so Twee unfortunately had to end up dying. We just B-resed him. That it's just the way it is, I guess. Now, after this, after those shades are dead, after that 3rd Sin Seeker, it's a pretty chill fight. You just got to make sure that the Hecutus stacks don't get too crazy. But the raid's healthy, all the healers are up, and we're just blasting. So the last part of this is we do get one more Sin Seeker cast here before he dies. And for this one of our hunters actually ended up having Turtleback. I think both of them might have, but and she ended up soaking, and we were legit just gonna sacrifice the Sin Seekers, which is okay. Not a huge deal to lose a few folks here. But
Sin Seekers, run these far out and we'll just sack them.
Never mind. And then we just blast.
I think they're coming here, yeah.
So these ones we were gonna sack them, but then one of the hunters comes in and I think actually ends up saving all 3. Yep. So move away. He did get 1 buff there.
Well done. Okay.
And we're just getting it finished. So pretty clean, not too bad. Just watch your immunities. Do not break CCs, and we'll watch you for the next one. Watch you.